Hello and welcome back. So you catch me down in the shed for another little video. Now in this video I'm going to do a product review. I know I can hear you all cry, he doesn't do product reviews, but I'm actually going to review a product that I've been waiting to do for a very long time. Of course I am talking about the Intercity 125 railroad range. So looking back into the 80s, we had the Lima tooling, Hornby standard sort of thing, bit of lighting in there, a pig to run at times due to the pickups, that kind of thing. But we've all progressed with this, and as modelers we've adapted it, we've changed it. There's so many little add-ons we've implemented into it, so it's been an experimental part through our modeling career, and it's probably one that will stay with us for a very long time. As to the real machines, wow, you just can't get enough of them. They are amazing machines however you look at it. I grew up going to Old Oak Common, tooting the horn, climbing all over it, fingerprints absolutely everywhere. My fingerprints must have been smeared everywhere on that engine bay. I came back to my nan's house covered in grease, so thanks Grandad, nearly got a thick ear. I really have had a nostalgic past with these machines, and to have them in model form really just makes me buzz alive. You know, it's amazing. So let's put this aside, we're done with this for now. This will be what we'll look at once we compare this. So this is the product. Obviously it's the railroad range Intercity 125, all boxed up in its box as it comes, and it's the 3608 if you're interested, and it's BR class 43 HST pack, that's what it's called. So yes, it's just boxed lovely, it's got all the packaging and everything. So what I'll do, we're going to open this up and we're going to compare it with the 1980s tooling to what this one is today, and see what the difference is, and see if it's any better or if there's any implications that are wrong or anything like that. From that point onwards, we're going to look at this, the 2019 compared to the 2013 super detailed Intercity. So it's got a lot to answer to between the old and the premium product, and this being the new, we'll wonder where it sits. So I think what we'll do, we'll put it on the counter, we'll open it up, and we'll see what she's really like inside. I am so excited. I haven't actually opened it up yet, so let's have a look. Right then, let's open the packaging. Okay, so we're going to unbox it. It comes straight out of the box, and then you get your actual data sheet with all your information about lubricating, where you put your decoder, and how you lift the body off. Now it's the same as lifting the body off as the old 1980s style. So I'm going to put that to one side. The box over there. Now when you unpack it, it obviously comes in this blister packet. You just lift that off. There you go, put that to one side. And then we've got some traction tyres. Got a little spare pack of them. Keep them in your box, keep them spare. And then you get these nice little bits of plastic over the top just to maintain it. Now looking straight away, they look superb, they look absolutely amazing, and what I'll do is I shall actually put that up against the detailed version. So let's take out this one. Now looking at that, it's got nice screws in the bottom, so it's nice and easy to get to. Absolutely beautiful. Nice little bogey on there. Nice bit of detailing, nothing over the top, but to be honest, I am very impressed already. So this is the dummy car, and if you compare this to so these are exactly the same. This is the 1980s one. Okay, so just looking down on both models, automatically you can see the tooling at the top there has been changed. This is the new version, so you've got little rivets in there, a little bit sharper vents around there, a little bit clearer around here, little thinner castings, that kind of thing. And then obviously you've got your smokestack there, your deflector that's at the top there, and then you've got rivets around here. So nice to see these details added. So the top looks really good. Again on the sides, these are a lot more open here, and these are a little more fine together, a little more clustered, so that's good. More detail in here, that's really good. So looking at the grills on the side here, you can see this is the new tooling and this is the old one, so this has been upgraded. More definition, more detail, so that's really nice to see. And then you can see the lining is obviously a lot clearer around the printing, that kind of thing. The window's different, it's been taken out. So automatically you can see there, and then you've got the chassis underneath. There's more rivets and detailing there, whereas these are just sort of pre-molded, sort of a little bit blurry, if I want to call it. A little bit more definition added here. So all in all, there's a lot more detail on the new one, so definitely been retooled in that sense. As opposed to the front, you can see obviously the lot clearer, the lighting is a better fit now like that than it was before. The windscreen wiper pulled out, obviously that's been painted in, so it looks nice, and you've got the little recess under the cab there which you didn't have there. A very hard line on the corner there which is now blended in. Obviously the lugs or the holes there are now taken out, and it's a nice and smooth body. So all in all, it's looking really good. Just a quick pop of the back. Obviously you've got more detail in here, more rivets, if you can just about see that. And this is obviously yeah, the door's a bit more refined as well. So yeah, and the coupling, a nice newer coupling. So yeah, all in all, I've taken out all the detail on there, which would have been nice, but I suppose you could add stickers or whatever. And the window there is gone, obviously because of the retooling on the door there. So yeah, all in all, looks really good compared to the original one. Let's put it back that way. There we go, and this is the power car. Very heavy, which is nice, a nice weight to it, and everything you expect from a power car. Let's put the box to one side. Okay, so let's undo our screws. Now it says they're Phillips screws. It tells you clearly, nice clear instructions. Take your screwdriver underneath, use a Phillips screwdriver or an equivalent, but best to use the correct screwdriver and you won't break the screws. Keep them to one side, you don't want to lose them, or put them in the packaging. What I'm going to do now is actually put the logo on a bit of sponge to keep it nice and safe so we don't scratch any of that lovely detailing. Now for our decoder, just got a generic Gauge Master 8-pin decoder. It's quite standard, nice little one there, that will go quite nicely in this logo. So to do this, it is a little bit tricky to get out. There's two little lugs in there that will release from the actual bodywork. So just get that in there. Give it a little, and you have to give it a little wiggle. This one's coming, and now I'm going to take that out and get my finger just down the side to release it. They are a little bit stiff. There we go. Told you. Right, so that is the body lifted out. It makes a horrible sound, but it is out. Oh, there is an anchor point at the back there. I can just see that. So yeah, there is a recess. That's interesting. So when you undo the body, there's a lug there in the back in there. So it's the same as the original as this, but it's a bigger lug. Okay, so that's the bit that's holding it in. So you might want to get a bit of plastic card in the back there, and that will drop all the chassis out. Now you can see these lugs here. You can see there, and then it's got lugs there. So these are slightly different from the old ones, and they hit in the recess inside the body. Now you then pull the body forwards, put it forwards, and then just very gently tease that off like that. And then you can see you've got lights inside. There's the lights. Okay, and there's your decoder, blanking plate, and all your box of tricks that's in there. There's your bodywork. It's all in there. So remove the blanking plate and just gently remove that pin. Keep that in your box of tricks because you don't want to lose that. So there we go. So from that point onwards, you take your decoder. Now that is, say, number 1 on this top corner there. It's number 1. Okay, so that's your orange wire. Take your decoder with your orange wire in that top corner and very gently marry the two up, making sure you get all the pins in very evenly. Just gently get them to sit, make sure they're in, and then just very gently give it just a push down. That is it. Your decoder is fitted. So before I go any further, I'm actually going to just test it on the test track, on the program track. So as you can see, this is the programming track, what I use for programming all my decoders or testing them. It's absolutely separate from the layout. This is the layout, that's the program track. Okay, right, so we'll put that on there, put it that way around. Now this will be default 588 because that is the number it is. So we're going to read it. Program, okay. Program track. And I'm going to push read. Lights come on. There's your lights. That tells me the decoder's reading properly, and that will say 588, and that means it's going through the rails, and then it's actually reading the address of the loco. There we go. That is it. Bish bash bosh. Right. So done. I don't need to do any more to it from that point onwards. So lift it off. I'm going to fit the body on. Absolutely love this. Looks really good. Hornby have done a superb job on this. On the chassis bits, and obviously the way the body clips on. Again, I can see when you put the screws in, don't nip them in too tight because these will, in past, these have cracked. And I'm not saying this is going to happen here, but just get the screws in enough just to hold in, because this body clips in. It's got like a recess inside, so when that's on, that body will stay on, it won't come off. So you don't need to anchor these screws in a million miles. Obviously enough to go in. They won't fall out because once you've got them in, you've got plastic and metal, so they'll hold quite nicely. So don't go, weighing down 50 tons of pressure on there, because they are very delicate. So once you do that, everything should be fine. I'm going to marry the body up. Now these actually fit the same way as the other ones used to. Again, a lot of them just slide in like that. That's what I'm trying to explain. So you slide these two bits in together there. Okay, that's cool. I could stick a driver in there at this point, but I'm just going to leave it and then push it right close to the end. So I'm pushing like that to meet that cab and those together. And then, okay, I've just got that slid in slightly, just nip that into there and then very gently clip that in. That's it. It's a bit guts in your teeth, but it does actually work. There we go. And bring that forward. There we go. So there we go. All is on. All is good. She works. There we go. Now you can see, I'll bring the camera in a bit more and on cue. There is not a lot of difference between the two bodies. It's almost like the same body. Absolutely spot on. I'm absolutely impressed. Millions. They look absolutely identical. I am really stoked how good they look. They're amazing. I mean, you can see they've both got lights on. So what I'm going to do, we'll run them around and see them actually together with the difference of what they look like. Okay, so I've just literally parked them up together, and as you're looking, you can see they look absolutely identical. They really do look identical. There's not a lot of difference between the two. The only thing I would say, the 2013 model, which is this one here, is the super detailed, and this is the 2019 edition, which is the railroad range. And you can see, even just looking there is not, I say, a lot of difference. Anything you've got on here, which is all incorporated in the moulding, you've got your grab handles, you've got your vents, everything is all on there. These have been added additionally, so you've got additional grab handles, roof vents, these little bits at the top there, the doors opening to the engine compartment. So they're all added, so they're additional parts, whereas they're not here. Looking that way, the castings, the two, don't actually create me any offence with my eye. They both look like intercities, and they both look like they've come out the same box, if I'm honest with you. There is not a lot of difference between the two. The railroad range, this one, comes with lighting on the front, but no lighting on the back. There's no electrics. It's just a dummy chassis. So you could add lighting to it. There is a recess underneath, and you could add pickups to the chassis on the dummy car to create some lighting. So for the experienced modeler, there is a little bit of scope to add lighting. Other than that, it's got transfers where it needs to. There is more detail you could add more weather effects. They've got the wipers pulled out, and you can see that they're all been picked out with black paint. This one's in a white, which is the 2013 model. The new release comes in a silver, and that's on the same on both cars. And other than that, it's got transfers where it needs to. There is more detail you could add, but out the box, I think it's absolutely brilliant. I've had it running around the layout on all the second and the third radius. Nothing's caught on anything. It does as it's intended. Goes through the point work. Now I've got very narrow point work through here, so I've literally bombed it through backwards and forwards, and it does perform as it's intended. So something I don't normally do, and that's to rate the two, the super detailed against the railroad range. Now you've got two models there, as I've said. Now out of 10, obviously this has to be a clear 10, but this is a close 9. This is a 9, almost 10. The only thing difference, obviously, there's windows and rivets, that kind of thing. The moulding is not, you can't see through it. But that all said, this is railroad range. There's a price reflection of a substantial amount, and that's the reason why you've got this bodywork as opposed to that. So it does show, but looking at them as you are now, there is not a lot of difference. When that's going around the layout, I've put this body on the back of this one, and you hardly tell the difference. They look that identical. So for a railroad range, it is superb. It is as close to its brother or its sister, however you call it. So I'm going to give that a good 9 bodywork. It's nice and easy to handle. It's no loose bits. All the handles are moulded in, and they're nicely painted. So transfers, paintwork, I give a good 10 out of that for the paintwork and transfers. They're nice and sharp. All the numbers are nice and clear. All the lines are sharp and depicted where they should be. The windscreen wipe on the glass, all them sort of things that I didn't expect the model to have. So for, again, I give 10 for the transfers, 9 for the mould in the plastic, only because the super detail has to win that by 1 point because of what it is. Performance, the chassis in that is all the same. A little bit less detail on here, but there's nothing to fall off. A little bit of a weathering, brilliant. Can't really fault that in any shape or form. Performance is, again, it's a DCC chassis. It has lights on it, so it is a close 9 out of a close 10. So this being the 9 and that being a 10. If I was to go back to the original, this one here, I think that would sit at a 5. It's really good for what it was, but it's old and dated. When you look at the new one, it's just come a long way. So well done. An impressive model and a good price by far, and a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy this little review, and I hope it helps somebody or anybody who's looking at buying a HST. As you can see, I am over the moon, and yeah, I've got 3 intercities now running around the layout. So let's just drag that back there for you, so you can see the 3, that one, and obviously that one there. So there we go, that concludes this video. So what a journey this little model's been on over many years, brought many smiles and many hours of frustration of wiring, relamping, whatever you call it. But I think this is interesting because this is a start of modelling, and I think Hornby are very clever. They've reintroduced that, whether they've done this on purpose or what, or whether they knew this. They've reintroduced an up-tooled model of this in the DCC world. So we've now got control digitally, that's hard to say, but there is scope for putting extra lighting in. You can add different decoders, you could change different variations, you can rewire lighting in the dummy car, which I'm sure we'll all do, I will do at some point. So again, the aspect of what you can do with just a railroad range, and as I keep explaining, you know, it's teaching you modelling. So it's a good way to be. Or you can go and buy a top premium manufacturer's model and get it straight out of the box with the lights, the horns, blah blah blah. I have that, and it's nice to put them on the layout and watch them run. But as a modelling aspect, I like to go back to these basic little, well, because it's not basic, I think this is pretty coming into premium now. It's amazing how they've changed and how they've hit that with that price range. Double thumbs up. I seriously give this model a double thumbs up. So I'm impressed. It didn't fail any of my expectations, so thank you, Hornby. Yeah, really is. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on there. I'm not going to move too much because I don't want to fall off my seat, because it sometimes happens. All is left to say, take care of yourselves, guys. Keep happy, smiley, look after yourselves, whatever you do. And I am sure I shall catch you all very soon. Cheerio. Bye.